several of the pictures that we have of you in your tights, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're out there and you got a lot of protection.
Right.
It's you, your body,
Right.
and
And
here
my
I
trunks
am.
and my boots. Here I am. Exactly.
You know, and
So,
and it's true what you said. Now you know, this area
right.
especially
Yes.
is known for huge amounts
Yes. Yes.
of wrestling. When you
Yes.
go back to the Armory in Tampa
Right.
and Gordon Soley and Florida Championship Wrestling and Dusty Rhodes
Right.
and Hulk Hogan
Right.
from
Steve
this area,
Kern
Steve
and
Kern,
right.
and all these guys.
And actually, Steve Kern is probably the biggest proponent as to why I'm even in wrestling today. He runs Florida Championship Wrestling,
Right.
which is our developmental system, the official developmental system for the WWE, and this is where all the stars come out of.
Right.
You know, over the past 3 years, they've placed 74 or 75 talent on the main rosters, either
Wow.
with Raw, SmackDown, or NXT.
Right.
And Mr. Kern and Tom Pritchard and Norma Smiley and of course the American Dream are all here on 4535 South Del Mabry Boulevard. Each week we have live shows on Thursdays. So it hasn't gone anywhere, and I'm glad that I don't have to go too far away from home if I have a day off to just go down and get some ring work in, and our training facility being here.
You said it's the toughest thing you've ever done.
Yes, yes.
You worked out every day as a college athlete.
Yes.
You worked out every day
in the sun, 2-a-days, football, the whole gamut, watching film and all that. And you know, it's the hardest thing I've ever done because it's the most foreign thing that I've ever done.
Right.
Athletically, you know, I can definitely do the things based on my background, but you're doing it in a closed space, and there's so much psychology as far as, you know, understanding that, you know, this guy's in there to literally beat you.
Yeah.
You know, in every aspect, and everybody around knows, even though it's entertainment,
Right.
it's still, you know, I go into it as if I'm going to beat this guy because I want to win.
Right. Well, it's competition,
Right.
and the juices start flowing.
Right. Exactly. And when you have, you know, several, no matter how big or small the crowd is, it's just a wonderful experience to go in there and try to put together, you know, make art work, you know, put our athletic ability as well as our charisma or our attitude or whatever it is that you bring to the table differently than most people. Some people, you know, like The Rock is one of the greatest of all time, Hulk Hogan, who lives here in the area.
And
And
Dwayne Johnson played
and
football in
right,
Miami.
right,
So,
right,
you know,
right.
you're talking about guys that most of the guys that you're
Right.
with there have that college football
Correct,
background. There's
correct.
so much of that, or wrestling background.
Yeah, well, the guy that I idolize the most is a Florida State graduate,
Oh, yeah.
and he's also, you know, the first African-American champion in Ron Simmons.
Oh, right.
And,
right.
you know, I've had an opportunity to speak with him, and of course, the American Dream has, you know, was a lot of the reason why he ended up being champion. And so I would be crazy not to pick his brain as well as the others that came before me brain to try to, because that's ultimately my goal, is to win championships.
Oh, cool. Oh, looks like we have a call coming in. Go ahead. Thanks for calling Sports Sound Off. You're on the air. Hello? Hello? Well, looks like we lost that call.
Track phone.
Yeah, must be. Must have been a track phone. Oh, well. Well, for those that do want to call in, we're in the studio here, 813-254-7820, or you can send us an email at sportsoundoff@aol.com. Want to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on in sports here locally, of course. Had some issues with the Rays last night. I don't know if you watched the game any.
Yeah,
it was tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I know those guys have played the whole season, and have given everything they have, and to come up, you know, the fact that they made the playoffs is a great thing. But you know, once you get to the playoffs, you definitely want to win the championship. And disappointing to say the least, but I'm very sure and positive that those guys will regroup and the organization will regroup and get ready to make another run at it next season.
I mean, for me, the thing is the fact that, you know, you look at that game. I think that last night's game might have been the last game for the for the Rays,
Right.
for Carl Crawford,
Right.
for maybe Upton, for maybe Soriano, for maybe Pena,
Right.
and I looked at it as kind of the do or die for that group.
Right. Right.
You know, heck, I was saying on this show last year, you know, I was expecting Crawford to be in pinstripes this year, and that before the season ended, that maybe they'd cut his contract short, and he lived out his contract, but now he's a free agent.
Right. Well, you know, that's one of the disadvantages to the fans, is you know, you get behind a team because of particular players, and you know, those guys are great players, and you know, each one of them have different circumstances. Some may want to go and try to pursue free agency at a certain venue or team because there are certain aspects of the whole sport that they're looking at, whether it be fan support or whether it be as an organization. We don't know as fans, you know, what those guys deal with on a daily basis, no different than they know what I deal with on a daily basis.
Right.
So I wish all of them well. I hope all of them come back. You know, I definitely think that they've helped build an excitement in the Tampa Bay community. And but I also understand it's a business. It's a business on both sides.
Well, and that's it. You talk about the business side of this deal with the Rays. They had the best record in baseball.
Right.
You know, we have 98 wins this year.
Right.
And, you know, that's something to really be proud of. But when you get into the business side of the game, then you start talking about the fact that, well, what do you do?
Right.
And so where do we go from there? You know, the Rays, you know, heck, they lost last night. It's over. The series is over. You know, what do we do? You know, but the Rays come into last night tied with the Rangers. The Yankees had already beaten the Twins. We were looking forward to this kind of interplay with maybe we'll get the Yankees and Rays again. And no, it didn't happen. So, you know, it's the Yankees are sitting there waiting now, and they've got the Rangers who have. Well, Cliff Lee is unbelievable.
Right.
You know, I mean, the guy just, you can't hit him. And you know, you get. Now we're going to have A-Rod. We're going to have, you know, Derek Jeter, who's a Tampa Bay resident. You know, they're ready for another run. You know, for me, that's exciting, especially for Tampa.
I think. Anytime you have an opportunity, no different than you know, if Tim Tebow gets his opportunity, you know, in Denver, or any of the guys from the Florida schools get their opportunity at different levels, you're excited about it no matter what team they're playing for.
Okay, let me go to the phone here. Before we go to the email, let me go to the phone. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Andy, this is Wade. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Wade. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you guys on the screen. I'm a little curious, though. You must have one of those chairs that you can wind up about 6 inches, because you guys look like you're about the same height.
It's an optical illusion on TV. Yes, Thaddeus is actually much taller than I am.
Yeah, we have HD here, so we're doing a pretty good job of masking what really is going on.
Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, Thaddeus, you've done a lot of great work out there with the little guys at the Carrollwood Canes, and almost like you have worked some magic, maybe, and I was wondering if you had any nicknames you might want to go with in the WWE someday around that.
Around my my football coaching.
Around Magic.
Oh, around Magic.
Yeah, I heard you had this nickname about Magic. I don't know anything about that, but I heard this.
Coach Wade calls me Black Magic.
Oh, okay, because you create magic.
I'm hoping that's why he calls me.
You
Black.
create magic with the little guys.
I create magic all the way around the board, across the board. So I think that but I definitely, if you look at some of the things we were able to do as a coaching staff, I would like to say we've created some magic. But it's fun, man. My kids are out there. You know, Coach Wade's kids are out there, and anytime we have the opportunity to sow into other kids' life and give them some of us, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Well, you know, and the thing you talk about the kids. For me, I played, you know, pee-wee football, and there's nothing like that. You know, the pads are bigger than you are, and you can't see out of the helmet, and you don't know what you're doing, and guys are going the wrong way, but you're having fun.
Yes.
And that, you know, for kids, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Let's continue on with our conversation regarding the local stuff going on here. We were talking about baseball, and I've got an email question that came in. Let's go to that from. I believe it's Ben in Tampa. He asked, what do you think the Yankees' chances are to win the World Series? I hate to say this, but I think the Phillies are the team to beat. I know the Yankees have a lot of experience. I think the Phillies have a lot of experience. You got Hamels, you got Halladay. I don't think you can beat that pitching staff. As a fan, what do you think?
I think the same thing you think. I think Philadelphia is very tough, but at the same token, I mean, you can't. When guys have been there time and time again, which the Yankees have definitely done, they're the winningest organization in all of sports. it's very hard to count them out in any scenario. I don't care who is on the other side. So I'm looking very much forward to seeing what happens and transpires.